Hi, right, in this video we're going to show you how to do some simple calculations in a spreadsheet. Calculations anybody can handle. So if you don't like maths or you're afraid of numbers in this way or doing the calculations, this has got to be the simplest way to do it. And this is what makes Excel special. So let's dive in and have a go. Here's a simple spreadsheet. It's an imaginary one. We have a number of sales days, a number of imaginary products across the top, and how much we sold of each product each day. Okay, so you can see how much we're selling. And over here, I want to know how much we sold on that particular day, and on that particular day, and on that particular day. I want to know the average of the sales across those 6 products. I want to know what the highest recorded sale was on that particular day, and I want to know what the lowest recorded sale was on that day. Now that might be frightening to some of you, but trust me, this could not be easier. So let me show you how we do this. Okay, first we click in the cell where we want the total, because that's my first calculation. That's the important thing. Be in the cell where you want the answer. The next thing we do is we need to have Excel perform the calculation for us, because we don't want to be doing maths. So how do we do that? Well, on the home ribbon, right over here, you'll see there's a button called Autosum. When I hover over, the tip that pops up says automatically add it up. Okay, so this will automatically add up. All I do to put the total in for this row here, for this Monday, is simply make sure I'm in that cell and click the Autosum button. Now instantly it places a strange statement in there that basically says the number in this cell is equal to the sum of C6 colon 2 is how I refer to the colon. When you see the colon, think of the word 2, H6. So that says the number in this cell is equal to the sum of all the numbers from C6 to H6. You'll also notice these, what are officially called marching ants, are surrounding the range of cells C6 to H6. C6 to H6. If the marching ants are covering the right cells and the range there is right, and always get used to double checking it, then all you have to do to get the answer is press enter. That was literally 2 clicks and pressing enter, and it did the calculation. You didn't do any maths. Okay, let's find out what the average is. Now then, if I wanted to calculate the average on a calculator, I'd have to add up all the numbers for Monday across all the products, count how many there are, 6, and then divide one by the other. That's me doing the maths. You don't have to in Excel. Let me show you. We'll move up to the Autosum button, but we won't click it this time. Okay, we'll just hover over it. So be careful you don't click on the words Autosum. To the right of the Autosum button, you'll see one of the little drop-down lists. If you click on the very small button, it will reveal a list of 6 options. Sum, average, count, max and min. Sorry, 5 options. I can't count in terms of that. 6 if you include the last one. We want an average. Well, these are just simple instructions. If you want Excel to do an average calculation, just click on the word average. And you'll notice it does the same thing as it did with the sum function when we hit Autosum. Only it puts in this cell now, the number in this cell is equal to the average of C6 to I6. Now, I6 is this cell here where we just calculated the total. We don't want to be including that, but it's actually captured it because it's not magic this. Okay, so how do we correct that? Well, we could just move over to here to the first cell, place yourself in the cell, so you've got the white cross, click and hold your button down and simply re-drag across the cells you do want to include. Now as you did that, you will notice that the cell references in the average calculation change to reflect where you are. So if I just now stop where it says C6 to H6, just show you that now. Okay, there you go, let go of the mouse button, and now it says average C6 to H6. If I now press enter, there's the average of the sales for the Monday. Okay, and I want to find the highest, so we'll click in the highest cell. We'll go up here to the Autosum. We won't click on the words, remember. We'll go to the drop down list over to the right, and we'll choose the other one. Now then, these other two, count is counting how many numbers, max is find the highest value, min is find the lowest value, maximum, minimum. We want to find the highest value, so let's go for max. And it puts in there the number in this cell is equal to the max of C6 to J6. We don't want that, so just simply drag across the range of cells you do want to include in watching what happens to the cell references. If you're happy with the range, we've got equals the max of C6 to H6, just press enter. Okay, so the lowest now should be really easy. We click in the cell where we want the lowest, we go to Autosum, drop down list, and we choose min for minimum. It tries to include those other 3 calculations which we don't want. Okay, so we just want to redrag the range. An alternative to redragging the range is, you'll notice, looking very carefully there, the cursor's flashing in the cell by the 6th. If you move across, you can then delete the K and change it to a H. And you'll notice now we lose the marching ants, as they were called, but we have this blue outline. That's Excel showing us what it's going to include in the minimum calculation. If we're happy, press enter, and there's the minimum sales. Now, to get those calculations in all these cells might seem like a tedious job, even with this quick way, but of course there's an easier way. Just highlight all the cells with the calculations in, being careful you do highlight them and not to move or copy them. Okay, if you watched an earlier video, I showed you how you can click in one cell, hold down the control key, hold down the shift key, so they're held down at the same time, and just tap an arrow key on your keyboard that goes in the direction you want to go. I want to select from where I am to the right, so I'll tap the right arrow key, and just in one go you've highlighted them all. So drag them, or just use my keyboard method. Great practice. While they're all highlighted, what you've got is 4 cells with 4 different types of calculations in. Over to the bottom right, ignoring this little square here, look very carefully, there's a little black blob, a little black square. Now if I very carefully move my mouse on it, it changes from a white cross to, not the 4-headed arrow, but this little black sniper's crosshair. When you've got that, it means you've landed on something known as the autofill handle, which allows Excel to automatically copy what's in your highlighted cells into any other cells you drag over. So now, if I just click and hold my left mouse button and drag down very carefully those cells, look how I'm going, to the last one I want the calculation in, and then just let go. It will then copy that calculation into each of these new rows. Now, to show you what has happened here, if I come up here to an area called the formula bar, which is an important thing that we'll deal with more in future lessons, that actually shows me what's in that cell. And in that cell, it's not 25,198, it's actually a calculation that says the number is equal to the sum of C6 to H6. So this is row 6, we're on row 6. If I go down a row, you'll notice Excel has magically changed the C6 and H6 to C7 and H7. And it does this all the way down, look, row 8, row 9, etc. And it does that for all of these calculations. So quite literally, you only had to do one total, one average, one highest, highlight all the cells, grab the autofill handle and autofill it down. And you've got them all in. Okay. You've got the same issue down here when we want to find the same values for each product. So what's the total of the product sold in that period? What was the average of product 1 sold in that period? What was the highest value of product 1 sold in that period? And what was the lowest value? Once you've got those 4 calculations in, you can then highlight all 4 cells, grab the little black autofill handle down there and simply autofill it across. And it would, instead of changing row numbers this time, it would move from column C to D to E to F to G. Try it yourself and have a go. I will place a link to this file in the video, or just below the video. Okay, that'll either be on the WordPress site or on the YouTube channel, so you can give that a go. If not, try it on your own spreadsheet. Maybe you've got a home budget you want to build. Look at this, you can start to build your own home budget sheet, and the maths you're doing, well, you're not really doing maths. Excel's doing the maths, but you're choosing maths that's ready-made for you in something called functions. These things here that you'll see on this drop down up here are little instructions that tell Excel to calculate the sum, the average, count how many, the highest, the lowest. Excel refers to these officially as functions. They sound scary, but they're quite simply you saying to Excel, do this calculation, and it going away and doing it. All you have to do is check it's got it right, e.g. check it's got the right cells. So give this a go. This is your first introduction into the calculations. There'll be more details on maths in another session. Don't be afraid of maths, because even that's easy in Excel.